Water is life is a saying that you may have come across or even used at some point. Many other times we've taken water without even asking ourselves where it has come from or the processes it undergoes for it to be clear and safe for drinking. The total volume of water on Earth is about 1.5 billion square kilometers. The volume of freshwater resources is around 35 million square kilometers, or about 2.5% of the total water volume. The United Nations suggests that each person needs up to 20 to 50 liters of water a day to ensure their basic needs for drinking, cooking and cleaning. Some of the water sources include rivers, lakes, springs and other water catchment areas. Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya says that everyone has the right to access water. Statistics show that there's an overwhelming population increase and there fears that in the near future survival will only be for the fittest. Mombasa County is one of those that have rapidly grown. According to Mr. Ali Ringi, a water quality assurance officer with the Coast Water Services Board, says that one of the challenges they are facing is the poor system, which is outdated, and poor infrastructure.
The infrastructure, which was designed about 50 years ago, but the population was too small. So also that contributes to the challenges we have. Then the same applies to infrastructure. The infrastructure we have is dilapidated. We have a lot of leaks, but we normally repair them, but they happen sometimes.
This county needs around 100,000 square meters of water per day, vis-a-vis the 50,000 square meters that the water board is able to provide currently.
Actually, what we have from our systems is not enough to cater for the whole population. So to ensure equitable distribution, we supply water through a rationing program. To be precise, the demand is 150,000 cubic meters per day, and we only supply 50,000 cubic meters per day. So it's like we are meeting 30% of the demand. That is the biggest challenge we have.
With the fact that Coast is blessed with the natural source of water, the ocean, it may be an alternative to counter the water scarcity problem. How then can this be done, and what will the effects be?
Yeah, that is possible, but in large quantity I can say that it is very expensive because you lose a lot of energy to desalinate seawater. So the costs for a mananchi, for a local mananchi, might be so expensive than when you depend from other sources. Of course, seawater, because a lot of resources.
Despite the challenge that desalinating the seawater for the community may be expensive, this could be another way of cutting down water costs for an individual. I took time to visit with Mr. Pop Derek, owner of a house at Kuruwitu, and asked him what type of water he consumes and where it comes from.
Okay, so what water do you consume and where does it come?
The water we consume comes from the mains, which is tap water, which we use only now for hand basins, kitchen and food. The other water, which is salt water, which is not so salty because it's filtered through underground, and then we pump it up, and then that water is used for the showers, the toilet systems and the pools. Our other source of supply for water, which I haven't mentioned, is the rainwater which we receive, which we treat. And we have a very large underground water tank that, if we're economical with water, that can last us quite some time.
Behind me is actually Kuruwitu Beach, where Mr. and Mrs. Bob Derrick gets their water from. Any type of water can be turned into pure drinking water after undergoing the purification process. There are many water companies today dealing in purification of water, but our efforts to get access to any of these facilities were futile. You may have come across water vendors in the streets of Mombasa, but have you ever wondered what they go through to get that water? Do you take time to actually think if this water is clean?
Then on issues of clean water, we actually disinfect water using chlorine and the sources, then we boost it at different sources because we want to travel a long distance. So by the time it reaches to the customer, the disinfection level appears to be low, so we boost it in some other stations.
Pushing a handcart and hawking water all day long to earn a living is actually a tiresome job, yet people still go about doing it since it's a basic commodity, hence won't be obsolete. Water can be collected and stored in tanks, jerrycans, and many other containers. Well, if you thought it was only the human beings who pull a handcart, then you're mistaken. This is the scenario in Tsofwa town. Yes, even the beast of burden can do it. Water is life's most basic need, but there is a water crisis in our world right now. Seriously, a crisis. I asked Mr. Pop why he thought of an alternative way of getting water, and this is what he had to say.
Well, having visitors, we have to think of them first. And to have a water supply is very important. So having our own well for the showers, for the cisterns, and for the pool is beneficial to us. And let's say if everyone was to consider using where they can salt water instead of mains water, this would save a lot of water that is in short, in desperate supply. But our usage of mains water we keep to the minimum so that other people have it as long as we are looked after and the supply is not guaranteed.
Dear viewer, you may be asking yourself if there are any other methods of getting water for use, like say in the farm, that one can use to save on the available clean water. Here we have a local house at Kuruwetu fitted with cutters to harvest rainwater, which is then collected into an underground storage water tank. I also visited with a local farmer at Shariani and found out that he also used the guttering method to harvest rainwater. This right here is an underground water storage tank used by a local farmer at Shariani to store water collected from the rooftops. In line with this, the Coast Water Board is currently running a Stop the Drip campaign in which they advise people on how to save on the available water. You need to repair leaking taps. Teach your children to turn off taps tightly after each use. Report burst pipes to the authorities. Through this, you can save up to 3,600 gallons of water in a year. Mr. Ringi advises that people should harvest and use available water wisely because it is scarce.
My advice to the community is that whenever they see water running in their taps, make sure that use that water wisely and don't waste it. The other advice, when it rains, please harvest the rainwater, because what we supply to you is not enough. So please harvest rainwater. This might be useful for you in future in case there is no water in your tap.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Mr. Pop also, on the other hand, resounds the same message, urging the community to find alternative water sources and save on the available drinking water.
My advice to the local community is to treat water like your best friend, because water cannot be manufactured, electricity can, at a cost. Water is going to be a serious problem in the future. So my advice to the local community, where you have and can have an alternative, and if you have the salt water to utilize washing things with, even clothes, where you use so much water, find the alternative. Even the wastewater, use it for your gardens, use it for your plants. Don't throw it away. That's the best advice.
Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, thanks for coming.
The seawater is actually an answered prayer for Mr. and Mrs. Pop Derrick at Kuruwitu. It has helped them cut down on costs of their daily use of water in their home. When all is said and done, it all comes down to using wisely the available water resources that we have. This has been Survival for the Fittest. My name is Tsofwa.